Welcome to our core exercise routine. This segment is designed to target your abdominals. Now before we actually begin the abdominal exercises, I want to bring your attention to your breath. So just sit upright with a nice ideal alignment, tall alignment, ears over your shoulders, over your hips. I want you to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Now, while you're inhaling, take as deep of a breath as you can into the back and the side of your rib cage. As you exhale, I want you to think about closing that rib cage. The reason why your breath is so important, especially in a core exercise routine, is when you inhale, I don't want you to release your abdominals. You're going to be in positions where you could potentially hurt your back, so I want you to be able to continue to breathe while we're working your abdominals. Okay, you ready, Anna? We're going to start with a crunch, an upright crunch. So I want you to think about the bottom of your rib cage to the top of your hips. In fact, if you want to grab that ball, we're going to use this ball as a tactile cue. So it's not necessarily for resistance, it's to help you understand where the movement's occurring. So you want to bring that ball into your navel, and you're going to inhale to prepare. As you exhale, I want you to close the space between your ribs and your hips and come up and over that ball. Inhale, straighten back up. And again, as you exhale, round down over that ball, pulling that ball into your navel, navel going into the spine, and inhale back up. Great job. Exhale, continue to do that. Notice how when she's doing this, her shoulders are staying relaxed, nice long neck. She's coming up and over that ball, abdominals sinking in, and lengthening back to the starting position when she's done. How about we do two more? Great, nice deep inhale to the back, and then exhale again, and inhale. Great job. Now we're going to use that idea. First, I want you to scoot to the front of your chair. Please make sure your chair's anchored and that it's not going to roll away from you before you begin this exercise. So if you can scoot just a tiny bit more, we'll make sure you don't fall. Okay, so pulling that ball into your navel, you're first going to assume that last curved spine position. I'm going to call it a C curve from now on. You're going to inhale. As you exhale, close the space between your ribs and your hips, come up and over that ball. Inhale here. Now as you exhale, roll away from your thighs, maintaining that C curve. Inhale, come back up. So you're not straightening up the spine in this exercise. Exhale, roll away from the thighs, keeping that nice C curve. Inhale, roll forward. And continue that, please, Eddie. You're looking great. Exhale, roll back. Shoulders nice, relaxed. Inhale, forward. Now, as you roll back, you want to make sure that you're not straightening up. So you want, as you're coming back, you're keeping the C curve and coming back forward. Great. And, make sure you stay in the curl. Great. And inhale. So again, as she's doing this, she's thinking about leaving her shoulders out of it. This isn't a shoulder exercise. Keeping her chin slightly tucked, and keeping the space between the ribs and the hips constant. We don't want that opening and shutting. And let's do two more. Great breath. Inhale as you come forward, and exhale as you roll back. Last time, inhale, come forward. Now I want you to extend the spine. Great. Nice job. We're going to bring the ball up in front of your chest, in front of your breastbone. And if you're comfortable, you can bring those elbows out to the side. But again, I want your focus to be on the abdominals. So if you're starting to feel stress in the, what I would call upper trapezius, or this part of your shoulders, you want to lower those elbows back down. So now we're going to rotate. You're going to inhale, think about lengthening the spine. As you exhale, rotate around to the left. Great. And inhale, come back center. Exhale. Now we're using the ball, and rotate to the right, sorry. And inhale back center. Continue to do that, please. Now we're using the ball still to cue our rotation. This isn't actually adding any resistance to the workout, per se. This is reminding us that we're rotating the chest around and not just the arms. Great job. Every time before you exhale, you want to think about flattening the abs. Or every time before you rotate, you want to think about flattening the abs and preparing for the movement. Flatten and rotate. You think about your torso as a wet towel, and every time you rotate, you're wringing that towel out. How much water can you get out of that torso, that wet towel? We'll do one more set. Exhale, wrap around. And last time. Okay, now we're going to add the last two exercises together. So if you would like, we're going to bring that ball back towards your navel. If you're feeling pretty confident that you understand the C curve, you can keep the ball up by your chest. But Anne, I'm going to have you keep it by your navel today. So I want you to assume that C curve again. Relax the shoulders, again, ribs coming towards the hips, and you're going to roll to the back of your sit bones, the bones you sit on. And now holding the C curve, you're going to inhale, exhale, rotate around again. And inhale, come to the center. And exhale, wrap around. And inhale, great. You want to make sure to keep your legs still. If you feel like your legs are moving, that could be an indication that you're rotating through your hips. So we want to anchor the hips and rotate up and around. Think about your spinal column rotating up and around. And every time you come center, that's a chance to regroup. Hips still and square, and still wringing out that towel, only this time we've added a little more of a challenge to it by asking that she keeps her ribs coming down towards her hips as well. Good, last time, why don't you come back up to center, and we're gonna take this chance to regroup, but the next exercise is we're also going to get into a C curve. You wanna pull that ball into your navel, and again, round down over the ball, pulling that navel to the spine, and roll back away from the legs. You can actually engage your glutes, your butt muscles a little bit if you want. That'll help open up the hips and then allow you to activate the obliques and isolate them. You're gonna inhale here. Now as you exhale, raise your right leg off the ground. Inhale, place it back down. And exhale, raise that left leg. And inhale, good, continue this. So now the challenge is to maintain that C curve of the spine while the legs are challenging that C curve. Every time she lifts a leg, her body's gonna wanna open up, but she's contracting her abdominals. Great, and come back to starting position. This routine has really targeted your abdominals. If you stick with it, you'll feel the difference. Thanks, and we'll see you again soon.